Yeah, my name's Clinton Jacob, and I am one half of Mr. Fly.
My name is Danny Sein, and I'm the other half of Mr. Flyzzz.
And our new record is called Fat Chance, which is available streaming everywhere, and it's also on vinyl on Amphetamine Reptile Records. But we sold out of that, so gotta dig for that shit on eBay.
Yes.
How are you, Kris?
Oh, very good. Thanks, man. Yourself. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks
We're
for having
happy
us.
to be here.
Yeah.
My pleasure, guys. So I'm glad I got you to introduce yourselves so I knew how to pronounce the band name. That was the main reason I did that, because I had no fucking idea.
That's the first time someone's been. That's a smart tactic. I like that. Good job.
So as you say, Mr. Flyzzz released your latest album, Fat Chance, only a couple of days ago, man. So I know it hasn't been long, but what's the early reception been like?
Oh, it's been really good. We've heard nothing but positive things so far. The only thing people have been bitching about is the vinyl right now, but I think that's a good thing. So, yeah, but reception for all the songs has been great. Like, everyone seems to have like a different favorite track that sticks out to them. So, yeah, it's been awesome.
So what sort of a run of vinyl did you do to sell out so quick? Did you only do 5, or did you do a decent amount?
He did a decent amount. I think the numbers were, because it's always limited, I think it was like 400 and something. So for AMREP, that's pretty standard. Melvin's naturally do a little bit more, but yeah, he usually does about 400 because he does all the art pressing himself. He carves it all by hand. So it's basically like you're getting a really special piece of art along with the vinyl. And I'm all about the limited shit. So it's like, grab it while you can. Because
yeah.
I'm not about, I don't repress. That's it. You get that.
Gone?
If you don't get it. Yeah, when they're gone, they're gone.
Very cool. So tell us a bit more about Fat Chance from a musical point of view, guys, and what are you going for with it? She's a little bit all over the shop.
Yeah, it's a lot heavier than what has gone in the past. It's a lot more of a straightforward record. We put that together at Electrical Audio in Chicago, Illinois. It's like right down the road from our practice space. But yeah, we've been putting these songs together for playing. Well, we've been playing them live for like a year, coming off of the last release, Cancel Culture Club. And, that's enough time for me. I work really quick, and Dan works really quick. And we felt good about the songs. I'm not about fillers. I'm all about killers. So it's a short record for a reason. I don't put fillers out. I just put what I believe in.
And Danny, you've also been quoted as saying that it is definitely a bit different to the previous albums, especially tonally. So can you elaborate on that for us?
Yeah. Well, the last record, Cancel Culture Club, Clinton wrote all the tracks himself and produced it himself in his apartment. So like that had, a much more like kind of noisy, chaotic, like feel to it, I would say. And like, he left things in like, his cat Duty would be meowing in the room, and he would like leave that in the songs, So it's got like a different like kind of atmosphere to it for sure. And then with Fat Chance, it's a lot more like straightforward. Like we said, it's kind of reads like when you listen to it, it's kind of like how we play the songs live. Like normally when we play, there aren't really any like chances to breathe in a sense, because it's just like bam, 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 like in your face. So it's short and sweet, and it's got a big, huge drum sound. It's a lot more like I guess I'd say I don't know if the right word is like hi-fi, but we're using that beautiful studio space. So there's fancy mics, fancy equipment, all that. Whereas Cancel Culture Club was kind of the antithesis of that.
Right. So along those lines, like, leads me into the next question. Like, you're normally very experimental in the studio, but this time around you worked to more conventional means, I guess. So what was the reason behind that?
Ever changing. That's really the thing. I don't ever like to stay stagnant with anything. So like Dan said, the last record was a lot more, home-based, experimental, kind of throwing everything at the wall. And this one, it's like, well, let's just do the complete opposite. Let's go to the nicest studio and use the best equipment, and just complete opposite ends of the spectrum. So That's the one beautiful thing that I like about Flyzzz is it's always going to be changing. It's never going to be stagnant or stay the same. It's do the opposite. So next time, I think we might just record on an Edison roll. We'll see if we can do that.
So you've had both of those styles, I guess, like the home studio and doing it in the studio. So when it comes to the final product, how much of an influence do you think where you record it has?
I don't know. I mean, like, I like both spectrums. I like home audio, and I also like the hi-fi. I could go either way. I think it really depends on the atmosphere that's built with the song. I feel like the songs that were written for Cancel Culture Club, they came from being in quarantine from the pandemic, so that it was this very, like, I wanted it to feel very, like, chaotic, but also very, like, homegrown, kind of like a panic attack on a recording. Versus Fat Chance, that comes from more of, you got to tour, we were out, we were, back on the road doing what we love to do. And this one just felt like, okay, well, like, let's go all balls out. Like, let's go to the nicest place. Let's change it up. Let's try something new. So to me, it doesn't affect it at all. I mean, they're still Flyzzz songs, regardless if they're recorded on an iPhone or they're recorded on a $20,000 mic.
Yeah. And I noticed that there's no song on there called Fat Chance either, which is pretty strange. Normally the album's named after one of the songs on it. So I'm guessing after speaking to you guys for 5 minutes, I'm guessing there's a pretty good story behind that.
Well, it's actually the album name came after the songs, the album's songs. I was on my way back home after our last day in the studio. We had just finished mixing the album, and I saw on my drive home a license plate on a car on the side of the road that said F Chance. And that just kind of struck me. I just like filled in the blanks and texted it to Clinton to see what he thought, and he was down with it. And I felt like you could pull like multiple meanings out of it, So it seemed to fit for the sound of the record and the kind of feel, I guess. Right. I think.
Yeah, I don't know about over there, but in Australia, like Fat Chance is a saying, like, basically, if you're telling someone they got no chance of anything ever happening, you say to them, "No, that's Fat Chance that happening." It's just
totally.
That kind of like plays to the realm of the record, because I mean the entire career of the band has been people telling me that's not going to happen. You're not going to get signed, get on AMREP. That's not going to happen. You're not going to tour the U.S. twice. You're never going to work with the Melvins, recorded with Phlyzzz, going on tour with them. It's just consistently going over people saying this isn't going to work. So Fat Chance is a great way to just spit it back at them and be like, well, here's the third record we've done.
Yeah, because you can't really spell that, can you, on a record title?
No, yeah. I might be able to get, I think in the back cover we got two going up. So I really do. Like on the back cover, I think it's two middle fingers. It's the fat mitts on the back are two middle fingers.
Awesome. So here's a bit of a divisive question for you guys. Like, I noticed there's only 7 songs on the album. So these days, man, like how many songs constitutes an EP and how many constitutes an album?
Life never does anything the right way. So I think a full-length album to me, at least from my perspective with the band, is sets are normally 25 minutes to 30 minutes. So I want what we're currently doing and reflecting of that time period of Flyzzz to reflect also on the album. So, I mean, if we do by chance, I mean, who knows? But I'm dream is to do a record of just one song. So to me, I feel like an LP for us, a long play is 25 minutes, because that's a lot. That's a lot of intensity coming at you. So for us, yeah, I feel like the LP for me is just, that's the chapter that we're currently in the band, and this is what we have to offer currently.
I also feel like that kind of dialogue also is come about from like physicals too. And like now with like streaming and everything, like I feel like the dialogue around like what constitutes an EP, what constitutes like an album has just kind of gone out the window in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, there is. That's why I said it was a divisive question, because you get all these people on their high horse that say it's got to have 8 songs to be an album, and it's like, call it whatever the fuck I want. Like to say I have one song on there and it's an album. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's whatever I say.
For anyone out there listening to this that may be unfamiliar with Mr. Flyzzz, guys, like, tell us a bit more about the band. If your selling pitch, introduce us to the band.
It's ugliest train wreck of beautiful noise you'll ever hear. It's like carousel on fire. That's basically what it is. It's an ever-changing monster, is what I've been saying recently. It's genreless in the sense because we kind of dabble in everything. I've always just been. I love everything musically, and I don't ever want to pigeonhole anything. So who knows? The next record could be a bluegrass album for all I know. It's always going to be ever changing.
Like I was going to say, this is my first introduction to you guys, and reading through the press release, it classifies you as a noise rock duo. But after listening to the album, there's so much more going on than that. Like it's a lot of intricate, interesting shit in there.
Yeah, I mean, like Clinton said, like we kind of just put all of our influences and the things that we like into like a blender in a way. Like we don't do it consciously. It's just like whatever we think is cool, you know. So
pause for a drink break.
No, yeah. I love it. Get that sip on. It's 11 a.m. there.
So you guys are up on the road soon with the Melvins and Boris. So sounds like that's going to be a fun tour that could get messy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Buzz and the Melvins gang have been nothing but kind to us. They've helped us with shows. They've thrown us on shows when our shows have gotten fucked up or canceled. So we're definitely really excited to do this tour with them because hands down, Melvins is one of my favorite bands. They're incredibly nice people. I'm very excited to meet Boris. Wata's really into playing Zelda right now, so I'm very hyped to play some Zelda with Wata. So I'm in it.
And what's next for Mr. Flyzzz after that? You guys got plans for world domination? You come and visit us over here eventually?
Hell yeah. I'd love to come over there. What part of Australia are you at?
I'm in Brisbane, so Queensland.
Brisbane. Okay. I got a friend that lives in Adelaide. Did I say it right?
Adelaide, I wouldn't be walking there anytime soon. It's a fair way away.
I mean, I'd love to come over there. I think that would be. Well, Danny sent me a video of this kangaroo you guys got over there called Roger the Kangaroo.
Yeah, I haven't heard of him, but I'll say yes.
Apparently, he's like 200 pounds of muscle. I could beat the shit out of him. That's all I was thinking about.
Mate, I'll make sure you step in the ring a few times for some track practice sessions because those fuckers are nasty. They kick back. They get back on their tail and they just like their claws are that fucking sharp. They'll scratch your guts out straight like that. Like they look cool, but they're vicious as fuck.
They look terrifying, and I really want to see one in person, but from behind a chain link fence.
Oh, you can go out there and mix with them. Just don't bite them on the tail or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'll square up with one. Why
not? Very good, guys. Well, it's been a pleasure getting to know you. Fat Chance is out now, and it blew me away, guys. It's a really, really quality album. So hopefully we hear more from you in the future.
Yeah, we'll be popping over, and we'll share McDonald's when we come over.
You bring the Mac, I'll bring the rubbish. Actually, I'll bring the sip. You bring the Maccas.
Oh, I'll the Mac, you bring the sip.
All right, boys. We'll chat with you later.
Thank you, Kris.
All right.
Take care.